First shot ever with the 20 GT AI. Oh man, that really blew that shoulder out. That's crazy. Since I had an error, I went ahead and ran the rod down to make sure there wasn't a bullet stuck in there. There we go. Gordon reloading tool predicted 3430 and it shot 34 1/4. Oh, that one cycled. Yeah. Lock back. We're getting just a sign of pressure. We'll stop there. Currently 104 degrees. Dang. Check that out. We'll move over to Ally Reloader 16. I did not feel right. It's like I pulled the trigger, it was like a hang fire. This is wind stabilizer 6.5. What's the deal? CFE 223. 37 grains of Lever Evolution, brand new primer. Let's take a look at that case. Definite pressure. Flat with a quarter moon. You are looking at a one-of-a-kind 20 GT AI. This is a concept cartridge by Bruce Finnegan. I actually had to push him to build this for me because he has something very similar called the 20 Disintegrator, and I'm not familiar of that cartridge, so I will put the information right here so that you can look that up. But the reason that I had him build this for me is that I had over 200 cases that I wasn't going to use for the 6mm GT, and I've been really wanting a 20 cal, and so I finally got him to build this for me. It started in February. I think I received the barrel sometime in June, but it took forever to get my bushing dies, and that's not on him. It was a company that I was working on. He sent me the dies and everything's ready to go, and then I had to wait for these bushings to get here. But let me go ahead and talk about this build real quick. He used I believe it's an X-Cal or McGowan barrel that's 24 inches. It has a very radical 1-in-6 twist rate. I don't know if you can see that there or not. That's to stabilize the heavier bullets that I plan to shoot out of it. It's running a 17.5 Odinworks Ragna handguard. Now there was something really weird about this handguard. There were these weird wings that came back here that did not allow me to run this flush against the upper, so I went ahead and dremeled that off of there, and then I respray painted the upper or handguard black. I'm also running an Odinworks adjustable gas block, and I was actually concerned about the port that he drilled. It looked really small to me, but I didn't have any issues today once I got the right load developed. I have a +1 gas tube, rifle length gas tube, meaning it's standard rifle length plus 1 extra inch, because this is definitely an overbore cartridge here. Atlas BT10 bipod. I like using a side charge. This is a BCA side charge, and this is really handy when you are working with a Wildcat cartridge that you're not familiar with. It's a lot easier to get into the case and manipulate the upper if you're having issues. Standard lower, nothing fancy there. So the reason that I built this in field is I knew that I had to do a couple of things with the cases. Let me talk about the Virgin case itself. When it's unfire formed, basically once you neck it down, it is holding 43.2 grains of water weight, and then it has a shoulder depth of 1.365, and then once it's fully fire formed, if you look there, hopefully you can see that. I'll take a picture, you see what I'm talking about. It blows the shoulder out to 1.390 inches, and it has an overall capacity of 45.5 grains. Now I was having issues in field measuring because of the wind we had, and I always bring what I call my wind box when I'm loading in field because it protects some of the wind, but I was having a lot of adjustments. But when I came home I went ahead and remeasured, and it does come out to 45.5 on the average. Powders that I brought with me, but I wasn't able to test all of them because I made a really stupid mistake. Once I did the water weight test to see what was able to hold, the case was able to hold. I didn't let them dry, and I ended up getting water or powder clumps at the end of the cases, so I was never able to shoot the WinStab 6.5 and the CFE 223. Real goofy mistake, and I knew I was going to have issues because it took a lot of effort to get the water into the case because it's so small in diameter there. Anyways, things that you learn in field. But what I was able to test was the Hodgdon Lever Evolution, which I thought was going to be the best powder. Got to 37 grains, and it was running 4113, which was a pressure case, and that's this one here. I don't know if you can see that bite on there or not. I'll take a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. By the way, I'm running the Hammer 41 grain HHT bullet there. On the right is tipped and on the left is non-tipped, and the next time I go out I'm going to use both of these into my molding clay because I really want to see what the difference is between tipped and non-tipped. I'm going to play with the Gordon reloading tool to figure out what powders to use for that 45.5 grain water weight, and I think it's going to spit out different powders. I believe it's going to spit out different powders to use, and I know I definitely want to give CFE 223 a run because a lot of the 204 calibers are running that. So any questions that you have, let me know. I really like this. There's literally no recoil on this build, and at 80 yards, oh man, what do I do with that paper? Because there's only 75 yards. Oh my gosh. Check that out. That is a bunch of different bullets and charge weights too. Crazy accurate.